In newly filed court documents, Justin Baldoni has officially responded to Blake Lively's recent accusations, pushing back against claims of inappropriate behavior involving himself and producer Jamey Heath. Lively alleges that Heath gawked at her, that Baldoni yelled at a female producer, and that an uncomfortable conversation about circumcision crossed professional lines. Baldoni's response? A firm denial, along with a twist that has people leaning closer to their screens. He claims that particular conversation actually predated Lively's time on the project, and that she herself initiated it. And just when you think you've made up your mind, another detail changes everything. Hollywood disputes don't usually start with a bang. They start with whispers. A comment here. According to Blake Lively's recent claims, her discomfort stemmed from multiple incidents during the film's production. She alleges that producer Jamey Heath engaged in behavior she perceived as gawking, and that Justin Baldoni created a hostile environment by yelling at a female producer. Add to that an allegedly inappropriate conversation about circumcision, and suddenly the set doesn't sound like the collaborative, creative space it's supposed to be. In his response, Baldoni doesn't just deny the accusations, he reframes the narrative. He asserts that the circumcision conversation happened before Lively ever joined the project, and more notably, that she was the one who initiated it. Let's talk about one of the most emotionally charged claims, Lively's accusation that Jamey Heath gawked at her on set. Gawking is a loaded word. It doesn't describe a single action, it describes a feeling. And feelings are notoriously difficult to litigate. From Lively's perspective, feeling watched or objectified can be unsettling, especially in an industry where women have long spoken out about being scrutinized in ways that go beyond professionalism. Many readers immediately empathized. After all, who hasn't been in a room where a look lingered a little too long? But Baldoni's camp disputes this characterization, suggesting that what Lively perceived as gawking may not align with reality or intent. And here's where things get murky. How do you prove a look? This is one of the great challenges of modern workplace disputes. Behavior doesn't have to be overt to feel uncomfortable, but discomfort alone doesn't always translate into misconduct. The gap between intention and impact becomes a battleground. So the real question becomes, can two people experience the same moment and walk away with entirely different truths? Another key allegation is that Justin Baldoni yelled at a female producer. On paper, that sounds straightforward. In reality, not so much. Film sets are high-pressure environments. Deadlines are brutal. Budgets are tight. Emotions run hot. Raised voices aren't uncommon, but context matters. Was this a moment of unprofessional anger? Or a heated creative disagreement that's now being reinterpreted through a different lens? Baldoni's response reportedly pushes back against the idea that this was abusive or gendered behavior. And this raises an uncomfortable but necessary question. Where do we draw the line between assertive leadership and unacceptable conduct? We've all seen it play out in our own lives. A boss snaps during a stressful day. A colleague takes charge a little too forcefully. Sometimes it's wrong. Sometimes it's human. Sometimes it's both. What makes this case fascinating is how hindsight reshapes memory. A moment that once seemed minor can later feel monumental, especially when relationships sour or legal stakes rise. Of all the claims and counterclaims, this is the detail that has set the internet on fire. Blake Lively reportedly cited this exchange as part of the inappropriate environment she experienced. Baldoni's response, however, adds two crucial points. The conversation predated Lively's involvement in the film. Lively herself initiated it, according to his account. If true, this dramatically shifts the narrative. A discussion that was once framed as imposed becomes, instead, a mutual, or even invited, exchange. One of the most intriguing aspects of this controversy isn't what happened, it's when it's being addressed. For some, Lively's accusations feel like a brave stand. For others, Baldoni's response reads as a necessary defense against what he sees as a distorted narrative. The truth? Both can coexist. It's easy to dismiss this as just another Hollywood drama. But if you strip away the fame, what's left is deeply relatable. A colleague's behavior feels uncomfortable, but you're not sure how to address it. A conversation crosses into personal territory. No one stops it. Scroll through social media and you'll see it instantly. Sides are being chosen. Memes are being made. Think pieces are multiplying. Some argue that Lively's feelings should be enough. Others insist that Baldoni's timeline exposes inconsistencies. Many are simply exhausted by celebrity scandals that feel both deeply personal and strangely performative. The real danger here is oversimplification. Reducing this to believe her versus believe him misses the complexity entirely. Court documents are arguments, not verdicts. Accusations are claims, not conclusions. Responses are defenses, not proof. What we do know is this. Blake Lively has shared how she experienced certain moments. Justin Baldoni has challenged those accounts with specific counterclaims. The gap between those perspectives is where the real story lives. Have you ever experienced a moment at work that felt harmless at the time, but heavier in hindsight? Do you believe intent should matter as much as impact? Or is impact the only thing that counts? Share your thoughts in the comments. Pass this article along to spark a conversation, and let's talk about the questions that don't have easy answers. Because sometimes the most important discussions start exactly where certainty ends.